Awesome. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and record. Let's see. Okay, right. So for persons who you're gonna send your link to them, you want to definitely make sure that it is being done in the correct placement where you want to be placed. So in order for me to explain this a little bit more, I'll go to the binary. So to go to the binary tree, I click on my business and I click on scroll down until I see binary tree viewer. I examine the binary to see the different placements. I will also examine the volumes as well, right? To see where the volumes are so that you can maximize the binary pay. Because remember that we all get paid on our lesser volume leg, right? So that's a key thing. So how do you change the placement, right? You'd go click on the arrow there, click on change settings, scroll down and click on binary placement. You want to click edit. Make sure it is on lesser leg outside. If you do not have the premium, this is actually especially important for persons who do not have the premium back office where they can put persons in the holding tank and then place them afterwards. It's very important that you make sure that this is set to where you want it to be before going ahead and giving somebody your link to sign up. You want it to be in the right place. So sometimes some people go ahead and change the outer left right before the person clicks on they give out a link, or outer right, balance build, etc., etc. Lesser leg outside actually gives you the option. It basically automatically checks both legs and see which leg has lesser volume and then places the enrollment on that leg. So everybody is clear on that so far and the importance. We're on the enrollment of persons to maximize on the binary. Any questions so far? No? Okay, great. All right, so having done that, you click Save Changes, and then you go ahead and continue. Now, the other option is the holding tank, and this is available for persons who have the premium back office, right? If you do not have the premium back office, you won't have the holding tank option here, right? For everybody that gets started, they have access to the premium back office for 30 days, after which you get the option to upgrade, which is about $20 US. All right, so that's that so far. Now, after the other thing I would like to talk about is the holding tank. Now, the enrollment is pretty simple though. The person, if the person wants to become a part of the business, you go ahead and click join as a representative, and they will choose their country. Click join now, and then continue onward, right? It's from here on, it's a matter of just choosing the packages, entering your information. For quick sign up, I recommend that you advise persons to only choose the fields that are required, which are the fields that have the asterisks, right? So that is enrollment. Now the holding tank. How to use the holding tank. Now, first of all, you need to activate the holding tank. To activate the holding tank, you need to come in, click this arrow here, click change settings, then you scroll down to holding tank, select edit, select yes, and then click save changes, right? All right. What this will do is that it will give you the option that persons who are being enrolled in your team, let's say you have two, three, four persons and you don't know where you want to place them yet, it basically holds them until Thursday at midnight Eastern Standard Time. Please note Eastern Standard Time. And at that time, it will automatically place them if you have not gone in to the back office to place them yourselves. Here's how you would place them before Thursday at midnight. You click on My Business. You then click on Binary Tree Viewer. And then you click this arrow here and then search for the name. Well, then you go down, scroll down to Holding Tank. If you had persons that have enrolled, it would show up here. There's actually a simple step-by-step instruction also here, which tells you how to place the person. Which, let's say this was a name. You click on the name. Once you click on that name, it will ask you then to select where you want the person to be placed. Let's say you wanted the person to be placed here. You click here. A confirmation would come up, and then you'd select yes. And it's as simple as that. All right. So that's enrollment. Everybody's clear on enrollment. If there is anybody that is not clear, please raise your hand, send a message, anything.
Can I make a comment?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, it's Sandra. The holding tank. So if you're doing squeezes, which we talked about last week,
right?
The holding tank is prime. That's the best option. And the reason why is, let's say I encounter somebody tomorrow that messages me and they want to get started. So I can register them in the system. They immediately get their IBO number. They immediately get their website, their e-commerce website. And from there, I can have them in a holding tank. So I can use that one yes to squeeze the other people. Right?
Awesome.
If they aren't in a holding tank, you can't use that person to squeeze other people in.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, we had a lady last week that said yes. And so from there, I called back a lady who'd seen it beforehand. So I registered that lady. I put her in the holding tank. I called back the other lady who was sitting on the fence, and I said, hey, do you want in? You immediately have somebody in your team. She said yes. So then I called back the previous gal and said the same thing, and now she had two people. And then Val called her sister, who probably wouldn't have got in for another week, but because now she had three people to go on her team, she said yes immediately and made it work. So we had 4 people get registered just because of that one yes. And it actually, because of the holding tank, it allowed us to place them where we wanted to in that sequence, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay.
Very good.
The other thing that I discovered is, instead of, like, if you go down and you click on one of those empty spaces, a little box will appear up top with your holding tank, and it will give you the names of the people in the holding tank, and you can just select one and place it.
Right. That's it. So it would be over here.
No, I don't even go there. I didn't even know about that.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I just clicked on, click on an empty space.
In the binary?
Yep.
Oh, and the list would come up. Right.
Yes. See, there you go.
Right. All right.
And so the list comes up.
That's okay. Excellent. And that's probably easier for most persons as well. So
yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Sandra. Okay, awesome. All right. So real quickly, we're gonna go into talking about a pioneer. Signing up for the pioneer. And it's very important, even for persons, if a note here at persons who had pioneer before, based on the upgrades, if it wasn't attached to total life changes before, then you need to sign up for a new pioneer card by clicking that arrow here, then clicking change settings, then scrolling down until you see money out. You then click edit where you see payout method and then select Pioneer. When you click on save changes, it will automatically bring up the sign up page and you will select prepaid MasterCard. And then you'll go ahead and sign up. I would advise that if you had a previous email address for Pioneer, I'd recommend that you use another email address so that there is no confusion. Right? So make sure that all information here is correct as well. And that's basically it for the Pioneer. Once you go through this, it will take another 2 to 4 weeks to get to you. Depending on how quickly. Some people receive before, some people receive it within that time. Okay, that's basically it for Pioneer. Anybody has any concerns regarding their Pioneer card or account? All right, so a concern is there for Pioneer that if you don't receive your card, once you sign up for the account will be there, and the money, the funds will go there once it's approved, right? And so even before you get the card, the funds will be accessible. Well, it will be there. There are options to transfer to other accounts and so on and so forth. So you don't have to worry about where the funds will be. Once you sign up for the account, the funds will be there as well. Another thing quickly about what you call the holding tank and placing persons. You can remember that if you physically place persons under persons, the sponsorship will remain as your sponsorship. So you don't worry if you physically place them under somebody in your team. It's still your sponsorship once you have done it from your back office. And even when you call into Total Life Changes, you give them the sponsor number or the name of the IBO number of the sponsor, and it will remain that person's sponsor, regardless of where you put the person. All right, I know that was a concern last week in my team. Okay, awesome. So that's next on the agenda. Any questions so far? Welcome, Kedin. Okay, awesome. All right, so I mean, every caller, I'm going to go ahead and share that it's very important for persons to go through the fast start training once you get started to manage expectations as well as to get an idea of what the business is all about. Because I know I'm going to be picking on Sandra every now and again. Sandra, meanwhile I bring up this website, do you mind talking a little bit more about welcome Miss Romans as well. Awesome. Welcome Shanice, the persons that are just going. Do you want to give a quick talk about managing expectations in network marketing as a business?
Managing your expectations?
Yes, because some people get in and they feel like it's getting rich quick. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's no such thing as getting rich quick. It's called a lottery. That's the only time you get rich quick. It's get rich if you work for it. The biggest thing you have to remember, and I wish I had a visual, I'd love to show you. The biggest thing you really have to remember is that you're not an employee anymore. You don't have a boss telling you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. So you really have to be a little more disciplined with yourself, with your time. You have to realize that you are in charge of your business and your outcomes will reflect what your input is. So in other words, whatever you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. So if you want to sit back and wait for somebody else to do it, ain't gonna work.
Awesome.
I had a mentor that once and always said, if it is to be, it's up to me. And when
Yes.
you take that attitude, then the sky's the limit. But if you want to wait for somebody else, you may as well keep your feet planted on the ground.
Awesome. Well, welcome, Errol. Thank you very much, Sandra, for that.
You're welcome.
Okay, so basically, guys, this is website global1teamtraining.com. If you have not heard about it, I recommend that everybody go through that site, especially the 4 phases of success. I know they will be adding some more documents here. It can be very, very useful. At the bottom are some very important resources, game planning session, how to build a list, how to invite. This website, makes it duplicatable the system, um, so that persons, even if they're just getting started, they can just quickly hop onto this website and go through it and basically launch your business just by the information here, right? I have a new rep that basically got her presentation and she's ready to go ahead and just show as many persons as possible with her PowerPoint, with her PDF tomorrow. All right. So I have done a detailed training on the 4 phase system last week, and I have posted a link. So if you haven't gotten the link, you can also always hit me up, and I can send the link on the 4 phases success. Now, I want the other trainers to get in really quickly, so I'm gonna just go ahead and check this off, and then I'm gonna talk about the calendar. So many persons on the call actually have a calendar, whether it be physical or okay, awesome. Yannick, Sandra. Let me see. I don't see anybody else that actually has a physical calendar. Everybody else is hiding. Andrew is hiding. Director Smith is hiding. Tanya is okay. Director Smith actually has a physical calendar. She has raised her hand. Awesome. Anybody else that works with a calendar? Kadeen is
I do slip up sometimes though, but yeah.
okay. Great. All right. So a couple mentors, not just one, not just two, always say, your calendar is your calculator, and means that empty calendar, empty bank book, right? You always, if you notice every other business, and you probably go on a lot of, if you're on Facebook a lot and you visit a lot of business pages, you realize that most of them has an option to book now, book an appointment now, because booking an appointment is what really opens the door to getting commissions, right? Getting somebody signed up, getting somebody to be a customer, and so on. So your calendar is your calculator. Now, there are some really cool calendars that are, digital, but it's good to have one as well, physical, because it is said that writing things down increases the chance of it happening by 80%, right? So it's good to have a physical calendar, 80%. So I have a really cool online calendar here as well, um, which you can really get any calendar you want. It's if you're using a computer, a desktop, there's one that comes with Windows. It's called One Calendar. So you can look up that up and you can use it. I know TLC has that in their tools section of their website. To go to your tools section of your website, you can, let me just quickly show you how to do that. All right, is everybody seeing my screen again? Okay. All right. Thumbs up. Everybody seeing the screen? Somebody? Okay, great. All right. So if you go back to your major page, you will see shop at the top here, and you could go ahead and click on TLC tools, and they will have different tools here, right, that you can use. Well, I'm not seeing the calendar here, but you can download it off Google. Just type in 8x10 calendar on Google as well, download it and print it and use it. So that's my assignment for this week, to get a calendar, physical calendar, and also a digital calendar as well, because a lot of times you're looking at your phone and it can pop up and remind you of your appointments, right? Okay, the next assignment I'd like to give before I quickly hop off the call is that everybody should be listening to what you call a personal development audio every single day. And then at the end of the week, which is next week Sunday, you'd go, each person is required to share what one audio that there was the favorite for their week, and tell what they learned from it and how applying it has helped them. Okay. All right. So at this time, I am going to go ahead and invite Mr. Yannick Prince to start his training. Everybody knows Yannick, the online guru.
Good evening, good evening.
Have you made it to the line, sir?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Hey, evening, team.
Evening.
All right. So following up from last week, right? There's a little assignment that I left off for all of us, including myself. I hope everybody remember what the assignment was. All right, Valerie, you get a pass because I didn't see you last week. Who else? All right, so it looked like just David and Sandra. Nobody else from last week? Errol, you're here last week, Errol?
Yes, Errol was here.
All right, so Errol, you don't get a pass on Errol.
And Andrew was here, I think.
And Andrew, yes, I remember Andrew. All right, you remember what the assignment was? Sandra, you always taking notes, so you must have it,
I think it was write down your goal.
Exactly. Write down your goal / your why. Right. Okay.
Awesome.
All right. So I'll start off. And when you write it down, you have to be in a book, right? Can't be a mental thing. All right. So my why is, one, to be completely self-sufficient, financially free, self-employed, don't have to answer to a soul. That is one of my whys. Also, to help my family, because I come from a very poor family, right? So I really want to help them, take them up from the country. I do fairly well for myself, but I need to do it for a whole. So my family, right, and my own personal freedom. That's my why. So I guess Sandra or David, you can be next.
All right, great. All right, so I'll go ahead and then I'll have Sandra jump on us.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the why is there are many whys.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say the first,
whys.
the strongest ones I'll say is to
Mm-hmm.
Build a legacy for my family, and for generations to come.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many persons are big on the Bible, but I was once reading the Bible, and let me see if I can mute somebody here. All right. Right. I was once reading the Bible, and it was talking about Proverbs 13, verse 22. And it was saying, a good man,
Mm-hmm.
leaves an inheritance for his children's children. And that really stuck with me. It means if I'm not leaving an inheritance, I'm not a
That's
good
true.
man.
Cool.
So, at this, I actually constantly think about that. Not having to say to my son, no, we need to have
Mm.
money for that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that is definitely one of my powerful whys. I got another why using by listening to somebody else's why, and it
Mm-hmm.
really dawned on me that definitely that should have been my why, and it kind of resonates with your why just now. I was listening to him, and he was saying that all his life he's been telling his mother that he will do this for her, do this for her, and it was one time his mother went into the hospital, and she was heavy, and after being in the hospital for a while, she became light, but he was bracing to lift her up to talk to her, and
Mm-hmm.
in doing that, he thought that she was the same weight, and he braced himself to lift her up. When he lifted her up, she was so light, and it dawned on him that all he had told his mother, all the promises, he wasn't making good on them,
Mm-hmm.
and his mother passed
Mm.
before he was doing it. And I made a, I use that, and I say, listen, I am not going to allow that to happen to me. I want to be able to take care of my family, my
Mm-hmm.
mother. I wanted to see good times before she
Mm-hmm.
actually passes on this
Uh,
earth.
that
Another,
is
go
real.
ahead. Yeah.
I said that is all too real. That is all
Yeah.
too real.
Yes. Yes. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, every time I think about that, why it's
Mm-hmm.
almost crying time basically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All
That's
right.
real.
So the next why though is to I've always believed that there's greatness in me. Uh, from the first time I looked up the meaning of my name, I'm like, I have to live up to my name.
Mm-hmm.
And so part of my driving force is to make a global impact, positive global impact, and to leave something, live full and die empty. And I think Total
Mm-hmm.
Life Change is an amazing opportunity to do that.
Right. Right.
As for my goal, um, within the next 90 days, income wise, I'd like to be earning, a constant 5,000 US dollars per week.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to be on target to be a six-figure earner in Total Life Changes.
Awesome.
All right. I
All
hope I
right.
didn't take up too much time.
Boy, it just come like it's a half an hour, but hey, it was well worth it. All
All
right,
right.
Sandra.
Hi.
Hey.
Well, it's funny because David said that because part of my why was when my stepfather passed away. At his funeral, the person giving the eulogy, which was my cousin, talked about how my dad liked to chop wood, and it was all the wood all the time, and I sat there and I thought, wow. It's so sad to think that somebody has reached 65 years of their life and their legacy is he liked to chop wood. And that's nothing against him, but I personally did not want that to happen. Literally 2 months later, I was introduced to my first network marketing gig. And I heard one of the mentors at a conference one time say, if you want to leave a legacy, change the next generation, because that's a legacy. And so for me, I feel like my job is to empower people, specifically women, because they resonate with me because, hello, I'm a woman. and I believe that my job, my purpose, my God-given purpose is actually to empower women in order to help them be healthy, wealthy, and wise, so that they can empower the kids that they are bringing up. And the more confidence that they have, then the more confidence that they will instill in their children. So that's my biggest why, is that right there. And my goal is, yes, like David, the next 90 days, I want to be a consistent $5,000 a month earner with TLC. And the first day I talked to Pam, after she told me what she had done with the business, I said, you know what, my goal this year, like from a year from when I started, is to make $200,000. That's my goal.
Woo, love that, love that.
And it is very, very possible.
Oh,
Very
absolutely. I think it's realistic, actually.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How about Andrew or Errol? Errol? All right, not getting Errol.
Welcome, Donovan.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Errol.
Here, full house, cause we had to stop on the way. 'Cause I haven't made it home. I'm coming from a volleyball match.
Oh, as usually.
I have Dion here and Andrea.
Okay, cool.
Well, my why is basically my kids. I'm not sure if you know my background, but my wife passed away 2 years ago.
Oh, sorry to hear that, man. No, didn't know at all.
I'm left with 3 kids. And having found TLC after she passed off and realizing that her illness, which was lymphoma,
Mm-hmm.
very treatable with the amazing products and that we have. I could have kicked myself, but nothing doesn't happen. So my why is to become financially free and leave this force because we know it's not safe. I need to be financially free. I'm tired of the 40% retiring. I dread the thought of retiring on 40%. I want to have my kids, and they say they want pizza. I can buy pizza. I can do well enough to pay my bill. So let's think about it first, and then see. I want to be able to spoil them, let them childhood. So that's my why in a nutshell. My kids.
Very powerful. Why that, Errol? Very, very powerful.
I'll turn it to Dion now.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Dion.
How is it doing tonight? I hope everyone is okay.
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay, so my why is, I guess, well, for me, is to be, one of my big plans to be debt free. Because working with the government, the government will take loans to send itself to school. So there is only enough just to take care of the loans and the utility bills.
Right.
Big, like one of the things that stresses me the most is just the debt that I'm in. That does seem like, as a result, you can't enjoy life the way how you want to enjoy. Like it feels good when you get the TLC pay and you can treat that as something, and you not have to worry all the light bill I got pay. It just, to me, that feels happy if you can do that. Like take a go watch a play or something and knowing some not intruding in another salary or anything like that. So my biggest why is to become debt free, and I'm actually setting the timeline for by next year, November the 13th of 2018. I should pay my debt at the credit union and wherever else I have it, and can eventually leave my 9-to-5 job.
That's
and
great.
TLC business.
That's really good. What's very important is that you have a specific date to work towards. A lot of time people say things and they don't have a date.
I've said this before, but the thing that I realized is that I wasn't setting a realistic date. I'm being real with myself and not to say to put it to this year, November, because it's impossible, but you also have to be real.
True.
Our economy and how things turn over and how quickly we get the products and all of that kind of thing. So put it to November 13, 2018. I should see. And TLC is the means through which I will be getting that freedom.
Yeah, that's good. All right.
It's Andrea Lawrence now.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, hi, Andrea. I don't know, Errol. The order is really, really low now. Don't know if everybody else can hear.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Good night,
Welcome.
everybody. My why? Wow. I'm trying to find a nice way.
Just say it. Just say it. Just say it. Once it's from the heart, you know it's the real thing.
It's not that simple. But my why is biggest thing for me is to get back to a place where I'm responsible for my independence, and I have three beautiful boys, and like Eric said earlier, like I heard you on, I think Eric said it, leaving a legacy for your children, and being a almost single mom. But don't ask, long story. Yeah, I was pushed to a place where I needed to not just be a mom, but I had to be a mom that was able to give my children a fighting chance.
Mm-hmm.
When Eric introduced me to TLC, I didn't know much, but then he became like that push to say, Andrea, regardless of what's happening, you can do this.
Mm-hmm.
TLC has given me hope, and I would say it is a godsend company opportunity for me to say, you know what, my children will have the kind of life that I didn't, that I've always wanted for them. And they will become the type of men that will provide for their families. And I think TLC for me is to create such an opportunity.
Wow. That's really strong. That is really strong. You and Eric have a similar chapter there.
Well, yeah.
All right. All right, guys. I really appreciate you sharing with us your whys and also your goals. I don't know if anybody else wants to share, but just in the interest of time. Oh, all right, Valerie. Okay, Valerie, go ahead.
Hi.
Hey.
So, I wasn't there last weekend, but I did already have my why. I've been working in the military for the past 15 years, getting told every day what I'm allowed to do, when I'm allowed to go eat, when I'm allowed to go sleep. And I'm going to be free of the military this December.
Okay, congrats.
December 8th. So what the military has taught me is that I am a leader. I always wanted to be a leader. I'm not an average person. I want to be on top. And I want to help make leaders. I'm not one to follow paths. I create my path. And so I want to share that with other people to tell them that they can and they are able to go out of the box instead of following everybody else, which are down there, and be up here. And that's my biggest why. And obviously be financially free so that I can have a better lifestyle with my children and my husband, and not always say, oh, well, can we afford this week or can't we? So I want to be there for my kids and let them know that if you work hard for if you work hard, you're able to get what you worked hard for.
Definitely. You reap what you sow. And I tell you, you're in good company, because most of the guys that I know who are in network marketing are top earners, and also internet marketing. Well, at least majority of them had military background.
Wow.
Majority of them. And extremely successful. We're talking 7 figures and even the rare 8 figures.
Wow.
Yeah. So you have it. All right, guys. So I'm just going to go into my little part because I don't want to take it too long. And Sandra still is up next. So what I'm going to focus on today is how to list build. And pretty much this is how I list build. So I'm going to ask, Sandra has way more experience than me in network marketing. So if there's a gap, Sandra, I'm going to ask for you to help and fill it in. All right? So this is what I do. I mostly use social media. However, I really don't shy away from talking to people as well in day-to-day, because my day-to-day job, I'm in sales and marketing, right? So naturally, this face is not very shy. I can tell you that. So I use my phone a lot, and I don't know about everybody's phone, but I think where over the age of 20, you should have at least 500 contacts in a phone. That's what I think, right? Those 500 contacts, there are two ways to approach this. Either you're going to do like this, write down all your contacts on the paper till you have no contacts left, everybody. You don't skip out anybody. You don't know who is the person who will say yes or no. All right, so don't prejudge. That's the first thing. After you write down your contacts, right, you are going to put a star, an asterisk, or something, the ones that you think are go-getters, you know they have a need right now, they have a great circle of influence. And those are the ones that I contact first. All right, Sandra, can back me up? All right, so that's what I do first. For my Jamaican people, I have a little trick that I use in order to offset some costs, so I can talk to you guys afterwards, right? But this is the basis so far. Also, Facebook is now connected to your phone if you accept that feature. So it makes it much easier. Whosoever is in your phone, you can actually add them as a friend on Facebook, right? And that may be a little easier for some people to talk via chat before you get up the phone and call. But at the end of the day, this is a relationship business. You have to get on the phone, right? So step one, you create a list, your hard list. Step two, you sort your list, right? And I'm going to stop for a sec here. Everyone should write down at least 500 contacts. I'm sorry, 500. And you're going to bring your book with a list of contacts, right? And you're going to tick yes, no, follow up, all of that. If you don't know how to follow up, I can help you with that, with my approach. So to list build, write down the contacts. The next option would be for you to bring those contacts to Facebook, right? Two things they're going to do. One, where your daily activity will attract them. It's going to bring curiosity in what you post. Sandra's experience with this, David, you guys that use social media, you see that people like, people comment, people share. And every like, comment is an avenue for you to talk to someone, right? Also, to do an ongoing list now, you meet people every day. Even if you don't physically meet people every day, there are people on social media you'd like to meet, just reach out to them. Try to make at least 2 friends a day. You don't have to pitch your opportunity or your product at the same time, but they're there. And just try to build a bond with them, because this is really a relationship business. And relationships build trust. You know, trust takes the business elsewhere, right? So that is 1, write down. 2, can convert it to social media, right? 3, you build a relationship. Your list should be ongoing. There's this guy, Eric Worre, right? Does Network Marketing Pro. He has a YouTube channel as well. Be very good to watch his channel. He interviews all the top guys, right? And when you hear them speak, you're going to pick up on similarities. There are some things that they do differently, but there are some things that they do almost identical, right? And success leaves clues, so it'd be good to keep a check on what they're doing. So make your list an ongoing thing, right? Even the person that, for example, I'm going to give you as an example. I had an event to go to, right? And I went to this store to buy a shoe. And the girl that was selling me the shoe, I don't know, something just strike me and say, hey, you know what? Just talk to her. And I started to talk to the girl. And she kind of reminded me myself, when I just came from country to Kingston, right? I was working at a shoe store as well. And I asked her how she's doing and thing. And she had on the generic smile. I know the generic smile and the real smile. Right? She had on the generic smile. Right? And then she started to talk to me. And sale completed. I gave her a tip, because I remember what it was. You know, the tip can make a big difference in the day. And I asked her if she ever considered doing something except for this. And she said yes, but she don't know of anything to do. Right? So I actually introduced her to her business. Right? She's currently still doing that business. Right? I just like that. Just out of that. So sometimes people really have the need. It's just for you to bring the opportunity to the person. So every day you can actually befriend at least 2 persons. You don't have to be bubbly and social. Just be natural, right? 2 persons a day can make a big difference. I remember Sandra was saying that a leader of hers, someone she knew, his big organization was just based on what, 20 people, Sandra? I never forget when they said that. 20, can it be 20 people? You know how much people I bring in this type of business? 20. So you never know who is a person. So never discriminate. I'm going to go through something here that I remember noting some time back, but this more deals with communication. To list build, what I told you is pretty much it. It isn't anything hard. People say they don't have anybody to talk to, you have the world to talk to. The whole world. If you think, there's something, Valerie, you're in the new WhatsApp group? Are you in the WhatsApp group? Awesome. I'm going to share something in the WhatsApp group. It's called the Ultimate Memory Jogger. Sometimes people say they don't know people. Trust me, I know a whole heap of people. Even the person that sold you something down the road is a possibility. The lady that clips up your hair is a possibility as well. Right? Let me just go to my notes here. I have my little trusty notebook, and I thought this was very, some rules. You should be emotionally detached from the outcome, right? So when you're talking to someone, you see when you're going through your list here, some of your friends may say you're crazy, right? Because these are warm market right now and they know you, know. Some people say you're not a business type of person. That's what they're thinking in the back of their minds, right? So even if they think so, it doesn't matter. You're emotionally detached. And if they say no, 6 months after, you don't know what can happen to them, you still call them back. And say, hey, Betsy, how are you? How are things going at the house? How are things going? Things are going fabulous with you, right? Because between that time and the last time you spoke with them, your business must grow because you're putting daily work. So emotionally detach yourself from the outcome. Next, be yourself and try to be the best possible self, right? Be true. Be very true. And when you're talking to people as well, try to give them a compliment. Whenever you give them a compliment, it really eases them. Put them at ease before you even introduce them to anything at all. Because people don't get complimented a whole lot. Unless they're like movie stars and actresses and sports stars. Right? So when you do that, trust me, it takes off a lot of the barrier. Be passionate. Right? Be passionate about the business opportunity. Be passionate about the product that you're talking to the person about. Reason being, you see passion and enthusiasm that go hand in hand, and they actually do a lot of the selling for you because people feed off energy. I remember when I just got into sales, I had a hard time, like going to a customer 7 o'clock in the night, very tired. Trust me, I had a long face. And the customer said, leave it at the door. I had a Chinese customer say, leave it at the door. Because he's saying, hey, he doesn't want my energy to mess him up. Right? And I learned from that. Right? So I had to change and I had to adjust. And I really thank him for that. Right? So you see, when you're enthusiastic, warm smile, pay a real compliment, it makes a world of difference in business. And next thing now, you have a strong posture. This is kind of tricky, but we're in business and we're in the business of helping people. We're in a relationship business, but it's not everyone you want to be in business with. Right? Sometimes you just have to say, I don't think this is for you, you know, and we're still friends, no hard feelings, you know, and move right on. But your list, all of this may be worth millions and you don't even know. You don't even know. Sandra, you think I missed out anything?
No, not at all. You're doing great.
Okay, all right. So pretty much that's it for list building. Any questions?
Not really. No, but I like what I liked one thing about the energy. and I've been doing a lot of meditation on that recently, is what you're thinking about. As we were talking about 90% mental and 10% activity, what you're thinking about when you're doing what you're doing affects what you're doing. Which means if you have that mindset, if you have the right mindset and the right thought processes or right state, as to put it, then it will come out in your interactions with your prospects and the persons you talk to daily. Because sometimes even just talking to persons, even without prospecting them, you're automatically prospecting them if you are attractive to be around.
That is true. That is true.
Right? So I just like to touch on this because this is major. A lot of people think that it's just a strategy or what you're doing that makes it happen, but a lot of times actually the majority is the mindset and the energy and the state that you're in.
Yeah, and even to follow up on what David just said, when someone looks at you, they maybe think to themselves, hey, is this guy worth listening to? You know, is this somebody I want to associate myself with? You know, do I see myself doing what they're doing? So you have to make this look good. You know, make it look good in their eyes. There's something in sales they're called vals. I think it's very important, even to this type of business. You have to know the person's values, attitude, lifestyle, especially for your warm market. Right? Once you know that, you win half the battle. Because you know what type of person you're going to deal with. All right, guys. So that is pretty much it for list building. All right. So next week, Sunday, everyone must have at least 500 persons, right? Written down. It's right. See the contact? All right. All right, guys. All right. I'll pass on to Sandra right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
All right. Thank you very much.
That was great, Yannick. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Oh, I did think of something. Sorry, when you were talking, one of the things that that people are scared to do with their list is sometimes put people that they see as successful on their list, which is a huge mistake because ultimately, you know, that they might have what you want, but they might not have what they really want yet. So it's really key to put those people on your list because often those are the ones that say yes first.
That's true. You know, before, so Sandra, just a sec. There's our approach for that. Two types of approach, right? I can give you one on a personal basis. I had this customer, very, very successful customer, and I was introducing the business to her. And, you know, I was kind of hesitant, but to my surprise, when I introduced her to the product, the tea, she said, you know what? I like when young people are trying here. And she took 4 packs. So if I didn't say anything to her, you wouldn't get a sale.
That's right.
Right. And on the flip side, now there is a phone approach. Now, from the phone approach, you can call the person and say, hey, Sally, I see you as a very successful entrepreneur. I just started a new business. I would like to get your opinion on it.
Exactly.
Being that you're that successful, I really appreciate your opinion. And they say, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
In the back of their heads, hey, you really respect them as authority, but it's twofold because they're actually looking at the opportunity, and if they like it for themselves, bingo.
Exactly.
Right? So that's an approach. All right, go ahead, Sandra.
You got it. And ultimately, a no is not a no, it's a not right now. Right? So that's really important. So thank you, Yannick, because you actually gave me the perfect segue because you touched on a few points that I was going to go through. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to take from this book right here. And this book is Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. And I don't care what you do for a living. If you're a people, you need people skills. It's just that simple. And this book, even though it's been around, I think the first published book was 1934 or 36 or something like that. But I tell you, these skills work. And if you read no other book, I think this is the most important book that you could ever read in your life and in your business, because it will change every single relationship that you have. And so I'm going to go through a couple of those things tonight that I think are really key for us when we're in a network marketing business. And Yannick already touched on one, and that's smile. Because people are attracted to your smile. If you're looking grumpy, if you're downtrodden, they're not attracted to you, they're repelled, right? And so and I've met people that, have really solemn kind of faces. They just have that personality. And I used to say to people, because they're like, I'd say, "Are you excited?" And they go, "Yeah, I'm excited." And we used to say, "Well, tell your face." So it's important to tell your face. And so I would highly recommend you look in your mirror and you smile and you see what you look like in the mirror, because what you see could be different than what other people see or what you think you're doing, right? So smiling is absolutely key. I've used this in the grocery store lineup. I've smiled. When I come up to a cashier and they've just had a hard time with a previous customer, I will smile at them. And usually I'll go, "Oh, girl, I'm feeling your pain today." And if nothing intrigues somebody more than sort of sympathizing with them is very, very key as well, because people love it when you hop into their boat with them, shall we say, right? So if they're having a bad day and you go, "Oh, I really understand where you're coming from today. I feel so bad for you," or whatever, then all of a sudden what happens is they automatically feel better. And now you've just made a little friend, right? You've made a friend very quickly, which is very important. So the other key besides smile is begin in a friendly way. And often, because your smile is friendly, it's you're putting people at ease. And I'm going to relate this to online marketing for a minute. If your pictures, if your quotes, if your statements on Facebook, for example, don't smile, like if you couldn't put a smiley face on what you just said, don't post it. Because people are not going to get the warm and fuzzies from you. So if you're dropping F-bombs, or if you're complaining about your neighbor or your kids or whatever you're doing, they are not getting little smiley faces from you, and they will not see you as warm and friendly. So these rules apply whether you're in person or whether you're online. The third point, and oh, by the way, I would encourage all of you to download an app on your phone, and it's called Dale Carnegie's Secrets to Success. And it will go through all of what I'm teaching here tonight, and actually this is part of what I do for a profession. So it's really near and dear to my heart, that's for sure. So the next one is make other people feel important, and do it sincerely. So when you are going through a cash register and somebody is having a bad day, by going, "Hey, you know what, I really sympathize with you," because now they feel like validated, right? Their emotions are validated. Whenever, and I've done this randomly, it might sound kind of kooky to you, but if I am out shopping somewhere and I spend more than 2 seconds next to a person and I love the color blouse that they're wearing and it looks great on their skin tone, I'll say, "Wow, that's a great blouse for you." And that goes into the next point, which is give sincere appreciation, which is, Yannick had mentioned that as well. And that's such an absolute key. Try that, if I might throw this in, try that with your husband or your wife or your girlfriend or boyfriend. See how far that gets you. I guarantee you it will get very far because we're so quick to point out the negative, but we aren't as quick to point out the positive. And when you point out the positive, what happens to a stranger is they go, in their mind, they go, "Wow, Number one, I feel really good, and this is a really nice person. So it has to be very, very sincere. Okay. The other thing is become genuinely interested in somebody else. So if somebody messages you on Facebook, or even if you're scrolling through your news feed on there and people are posting certain things that you think, oh, wow, I wonder why they're posting that. It's probably a personal thing. You know, make a comment of, you know, something, I'm really sorry you had to experience that, or I know how you feel, or I completely agree, or whatever. And what that does with somebody that you don't know very well is it builds that relationship, because as Yannick said, this is relationship marketing. Okay. And so the quicker you can build the relationship, what happens is you're building loyalty. If you want customers to stay around for a while, you need to build loyalty with your customers. And so to be genuinely interested, and I'll give you an example. I had a gal that messaged me a little over a week ago, ordered some tea off my website. I anticipated, because I have a little book of everybody who messages me and says they're going to order, and then I check online if they ordered. And I put down in my book an estimated time of arrival for their tea, because I know how long it takes to arrive. So I sent her a message yesterday morning. I said, did your tea arrive today? And she messaged me back. She goes, how did you know? Well, this was a person I didn't know beforehand. And now she's just like, oh, thank you so much for being there. I have done these things before with other companies. And she said, I order something and then the person disappears. Well, she's not going to reorder from that person. I thought to ask her that. Yeah. And then, you know, I followed up today with, hey, how did you do with the tea, Mary? And so she told me. And so then I gave her some tips. And she thanked me like 3 times, right? And all I was doing was I was serving my customer. Because honestly, what leadership means is serving. Get good at serving people and their needs. The other thing, it's really, really, really important. The most beautiful words to somebody's ears is their own name. Remember their name. Call them by name. They love it. And so it's like a sweet song to their name, to their ears. So get really good at remembering names. And a couple tips I can give you for remembering names is make it fun. Make it silly. Make it memorable. The more silly you remember their name, then the more you'll remember. So for example, I was taking a Dale Carnegie class about 4 months ago. And part of the class is remembering names. There was 19 of us in the class. And so that means 38 first and last names. Most people, first of all, said, I suck at remembering names, which is the worst thing you could ever do. Because what you're doing is you're telling your subconscious mind that you suck at remembering names. And guess what? You will suck at remembering names. Because whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. So change your mindset, first and foremost. Then the other thing is by the end of the class, because we all remembered each other's names in silly, ridiculous, stupid, honestly, some of them were stupid ways, then it helped us. And I'll give you an example. I'll use my name. And hopefully, I don't, because I can see Yannick on my screen here. Have you guys seen the movie Grease, or do you know the movie Grease with John Travolta? Okay. So if you think of Grease and you think of the song Sandra D, and you remember, okay, that's my first name, Sandra. I'm not Sandra D. But the movie Grease, and if you think of the most greasiest food on the planet, it seems, do you guys have KFC or Kentucky Fried Chicken? Well, yes. Kentucky Fried Chicken was started by Colonel Sanders, which is close to Saunders. And so if you think of that, you'll remember my name. Now, I guarantee most of you will actually remember my name next time, or at least think of me as Sandra D. Sanders, right? But if you have fun with it and make it ridiculous, it helps. The other thing that you want to do is when you meet people in person, you want to shake their hand and you want to have a good handshake. Us ladies often go kind of melty, which shows no strength. It shows no confidence at all. So you want to give a firm handshake. Don't squeeze their hand off, but a firm handshake. Look them in the eye and say their name. So, hi, Val. Oh, it's so nice to meet you, Val. What do you do for a living? What brought you here? Whatever it is, say their name 3 times because it inputs it in your memory. So, silly and 3 times. Make eye contact. So as you're saying Val, then you're looking her in the eye, kind of deal. Okay. So remembering names is so important. People will be floored if you remember their names. Be a good listener. And so communication is not about what you say. Communication is about what people hear. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. We need to use it in proportion. We can't find out what somebody's why is unless we listen to what they say. And often you can pick up certain things in their, not just their language, but in their body language, in their posture. Because if you say to them, hey, what do you do for a living? If I said that to Val and she's like, oh, I'm in the military right now. Well, her body language tells me she ain't happy with the military, which means if she ain't happy, she's possibly looking for an opportunity. Then I'm going to dance because that's like a sore. That's like a wound now. And so because she has a wound there, I am going to get out and I'm going to dance all over that. Really? Don't you like the military? And she's going to go, no, I don't. I get bossed around and I'm not a leader and blah, 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 blah. And then you're like, wow, that must suck. So it's like you're scratching at the wound, right? And then eventually she's like, yeah, I just want to get out. And then I throw her a lifeline and I say, Val, do you have any options? She's going to go, no, I don't. Why, do you? Yeah, I do. And from there, then you can introduce her to the opportunity, right? But it's just because I've listened to her, and I've listened not only with my ears, but with my heart as well. And I saw what was bothering her, and I want to throw her a lifeline. So the other things is, be a good listener. Oh, yeah. And encourage them. So be an encourager, So if she said that to me, I'd say, you know what? I bet you there's all kinds of ways of getting out of the military if you want. So encourage and encourage her, encourage the person that you're talking to. All of this you can apply online as well. Okay? A virtual handshake is the way you open up the conversation, right? Your handshake of, hey, Mary Jane, how you doing today? That's a virtual handshake. And when you do these things and you follow all the other steps, because there's many other steps that he lists in the book. But as I said, download the app, Secrets to Success by Dale Carnegie. And he'll go through them, being sympathetic to the other person's ideas and desires, Often some people, like if you understand even personalities and you met Val, for example, it's funny because Dale Carnegie lists number 21 here is throw down a challenge. Somebody with her personality loves a challenge. So even saying, hey, if I asked her, hey, Val, if you had one health goal, one thing you want to change about your health, what would it be? And she might tell me, I want to lose some weight. I challenge you to lose weight on this tea that I have. you know, so putting down that challenge helps as well. I hope that everybody downloads it's a free app. It's a wonderful app. It links you to some awesome videos. It gives examples of what I just went through, because I just went through part of it. I hope I didn't put anybody to sleep. And so I'm trying to be what Dale Carnegie says, be enthusiastic, because when you're enthusiastic, you're actually making a difference. Yes, that's it, Yannick. When you're enthusiastic, it's like lighting somebody on fire. And when you light somebody on fire, people will come from miles around to watch you burn. And so this is a good fire, right? And it's contagious to other people. And you want to be excited because you have the most exciting opportunity in your hands right now, and you want to express it to everybody you know. So I thank you for your time, and I don't know if there's any questions.
Sandra?
Yes?
Awesome. But I don't see Jamaica here. Why? Why? There's Barbados, there's Dominican Republic, Trinidad.
I will look into that.
Yes.
I will look into that.
All right. I just can jump on anyone. I don't know. Can I?
Yeah. Jump on Caribbean. Oh, Caribbean.
Yeah.
Canada, Caribbean, Mexico.
Hey, what's that?
You're Caribbean.
Yeah. No, I was just saying I said other countries, but I don't see Jamaica. Barbados is there. Trinidad is there. So should I jump on Trinidad? I don't know.
Go for it.
All right. Let's try it.
It's the same thing.
Port of Spain. Okay. All right.
You guys can send the link to the group.
I think Yannick can, because I'm techno illiterate.
That's okay.
All right, no problem. I'll share it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, man. All right. There is something else though. David.
Yes, go ahead.
In your presentation, you mentioned something that I think I missed.
Right.
Whenever you're signing up, you said as if you put someone on the outer, the system automatically reads it for the lesser side.
Right.
Oh,
so let me just go back on and show you real quick.
Mm-hmm. I think that's very important.
Right. All right. Hold on a sec. All right. Sharing screen.
David, just before you go on, which one of what exactly are we downloading from Google Play again? Which one are we downloading?
It's Dale Carnegie training.
The Secrets of Success. Oh, the training, the one with Secrets of Success. The first one that says 4.2.
Let me tell you what it says. It says Secrets of Success. It says yes.
Okay then. All right. Thanks.
All right. Yes. All right, guys. It's very, very important that we don't rely on these trainings to do our personal development. It's very, very important. What we're showing here is just applications of a personal development. That book I actually read it a few years ago, and I would recommend it. Always reading over a book to get the implementation in, as opposed to just reading a book. You understand? Very, very important, Sandra, for going through or introducing that book to us.
Absolutely. I read it every year for 6 years.
Oh,
okay. Awesome.
Oh, well, I'm behind. I only listened it once.
All right. So you go to that arrow here and then click Change Settings. And then scroll down to Placement, Binary Placement Preference, and then click on Edit. And then the options are there. Now, first option says outer left. Second says outer right. Then balance build. And then lesser volume outside. So I tend to use that one. So the calculate, it would calculate which leg is lesser in terms of volumes, and then it will just place it on the bottom outside.
Okay.
automatically. So if persons were to click on your leg, it wouldn't go on your power leg, it would go on your pay leg to increase the binary pay.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Yes, you're welcome, sir. All right. Yes. So one thing that I didn't touch on, I want to keep touching on it. How many persons are actually actively involved in the 3033 um, program?
I am active. Eric is
I'm not. So I still have a problem, but I have to talk to you otherwise. I have
Okay.
a delivery problem, David.
Okay. Okay. No problem.
Mhm.
But right. So all right. So Errol is on the 3033. Who else? Sandra, are you on the 3033?
Dion is also on it.
Great
Dion-
question,
Dion is
and
on
I'm
it.
great question. I'm actually not on it yet because
Okay.
I have a knee problem,
Okay.
and I was waiting for that to get fixed. But I'm feeling up to it now, and I want to lay out a challenge to my Facebook people to do it with me as of September 1st, so that I have create like a group of people to do it together.
Right. Awesome.
That's my theory.
Okay. Great. Great.
All
Awesome. Awesome. Why I mentioned that is because hold on. Is it Valerie? Valerie, you wanted to say something?
No, it's
Oh,
okay.
okay, great, no problem. All right. So why I mention that is because if you look at social media now, a number of our readers, that's actually building some massive momentum. And I can tell you my personal experience is it's been great. Persons are being, it actually says a lot when you're consistently doing it every single day. I get a lot of, hey, I wish I was as consistent as you. What is this product about? How can I, So it builds that momentum, and once you're a part of that movement and you're sharing that it's not just you, it's a whole movement, then you can get that traction on social media if you're all on social media. So I definitely recommend post pics of that lifestyle, as we call that lifestyle picture, to talk about that 3033. As you know, they even sorted out a package for that just as well. So if you are signing up somebody and they are interested in the 3033 and they want to do the business as well, then it actually works because there is actually a sign up package in the back office that says 3033 as well. All right. So the 3033 is really, really powerful, and you want to tap into that. So we're promoting that as a team, we're promoting that as a movement, and it's awesome when you have a number of countries, number of persons doing it, and it shows that it's a movement, and persons like to attract or to attach themselves to a movement that is bigger than themselves. All right. So that is one of the assignments. I know people have dates. Right. I'm supposed to have a special guest on as well this evening. She's supposed to be on in another 3 minutes or so. But do we have any well, okay. Okay, she's actually on the line. Right. So Coach Pam, you've made it to the line. We were just talking about the 3033. Coach Pam is our leader, our international leader. She is a most inspiring person. Every time I watch her videos, every time I see her post, it's always an inspiration if I'm dropping off. But in real life, her story or her family story, I can identify with. Her husband is an engineer, and they're really pretty much been in the network, this industry for over 20 years, without success, and then with Total Life Changes got amazing successful, and they are known as the persons who did 7 figures in 17 months. Um, she has been, constantly supporting Jamaican market, going above and beyond, and she is today my top mentor, and I am always motivated to post because I follow her. So they're saying copy the right cat, and Coach Pam is a good cat to copy. So especially for social media, and she has the results to back it up. So without further ado, I mean, I could go on and on and on talking about my highly esteemed coach. Have you made it to the call? Are you muted?
Yes, I am on the line. Can you hear me, David?
I can hear you. Great. Awesome. 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 Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Awesome. Can y'all hear this?
Yes.
Well, you know what good night. So I was just listening to our 10 o'clock call. Hello, everybody, all of you that are on this training call. And I just want to let you know that, as a top leader here, one thing that I learned a long time ago is to make sure that I'm plugging in. So a lot of times people think that, we get to the point to where we don't, jump on and listen. But I'm always learning. I'm always growing. And so, this was one of the things that I learned in the onset. This was how I grew my business when I didn't know, what to do. When I didn't know the importance of really having a testimony and really being able to share the different testimonies. I just want to let you guys know that the calls that we do, the 10 o'clock calls that we do every single night, that's going to be a tool that's going to help you to grow your business, because what's going to happen is you're going to be able to hear different testimonies. You're going to be able to feel the movement of this 30-33. How many of you are feeling the energy and the excitement from the 30-33 movement? I'm literally I've been nonstop today, just here in Atlanta, Georgia, in my hotel room. But just excited because lives were changed today, as a result of a young lady who said yes, to our company. I'm not sure how long. I think Sabrina has been in this business probably right around 2 years. And I remember when she reached out to me, and just to be able to see the fruits of what God has been able to do, all because of her yes to Total Life Changes. You see, I remember when she reached out to me and she wanted something different in life, but to be able to watch somebody grow, to be able to watch somebody blossom into a beautiful butterfly. And one of the things that birth. And so it was an honor for me to be at a dinner tonight in which I can tell you, my internet connection is not the greatest here, but in which I could tell you it was exciting to be able to watch her, number one, share how she's grown. She started off with mindset. She started off with, SMART goals. And we all talk about those SMART goals all the time, with them being specific, measurable, attainable, and realistic, and time stamped, and all of that, right? And so she started off talking about the mindset piece, but just to know that she said yes to Total Life Changes, she used this as a vehicle to be able to publish her very first book. And so it was an honor just to be there to see someone who said yes, who now is able to fulfill her dreams, all because of she just made a decision to get in and to listen. She's coachable. She plugged in, and I've been able to watch this amazing woman grow into a beautiful butterfly, all because of her yes. And so, I'm jumping on here tonight, excited for each and every one of you, and the fact that you guys are the committed ones that are saying, we're gonna do what we got to do in order to get this. But I also want to let you know, don't overthink this. Do not overthink this business, because this is something in which you just got to grab a hold of. It's simple, it's easy, I know that you guys are on here doing back office training, but one of the things is, I can tell you, listen, shoot a video for back office training, so that now you can share it, put it out there. Remember, don't go around recreating the wheel. Okay, so therefore, instead of every week coming on here, if somebody joins your business, take the authority. If you guys have to, you feel like some people are hands-on, because there are people that join my business, and there are some hands-on people in which I may need to walk through. But I can tell you, I just want to paint this picture for you. When I got started in TLC, none of us knew anything. None of us didn't know anything about a back office. All we knew was that this T was something that we had, and we grabbed a hold of it. And the way that I was able to grow was I started listening to the calls. I started Googling anything that I needed to know. I logged into the back office. I pulled in some research, and I can tell you, I learned that back office on my own, because at the end of the day, I knew that Coach Stormy was somebody that was very busy. I knew that I could not allow my success to be dependent upon somebody else doing something or showing me anything. So therefore, I decided to get in, and I decided to click. So just know that you cannot break your back office. Get back there, click, do what you got to do in order to learn it, to figure it out. And as you're learning it and figuring it out, guess what? While y'all sitting around doing all these trainings, we get paid. So I'm on here tonight to tell you guys, don't overthink this, okay? It's great. You want to learn, but do not allow analysis paralysis to set in, all right? Just do. I've been seeing some phenomenal videos coming out of all of you guys. Canada, salute. Sandra, Valerie, yes, I see these things. And, whenever I can grab them, I'm ready to repost them. Arrow, your consistency, everything. And I noticed some of you, I can't see everybody on here tonight. I don't know why I couldn't put up the screen. But listen, consistency is everything. And so I want you all to really take the action to make sure you're focused on what's going to produce the income for you guys. Don't sit back and try to learn everything. But you want to learn along the way, because you got to be knowledgeable, right? Because you want to be educated. You don't want people to come to you and now you can't answer a simple question. Yes, you want to leverage us whenever it's necessary, but at the end of the day, just don't overthink this. Run like you never ran before. This company is real. Yes, TLC is growing in leaps and bounds. Yes, TLC still has some kinks, some things that we got to work out that are not on point, but I can tell you that you should be excited, because if the company was all together, right? Jamaica knows, because Jamaica has been through some stuff and they still go through some stuff, right? If the company was all together, guess what? That would mean that the opportunity to create wealth would not still be here. So know that there's going to be some kinks, there's going to be some challenges, but you guys gotta fight, and you got to keep that vision in front of you to know that this too shall pass. And it's all a part of your story, because you are the pioneers. You're Sandra, Valerie, whoever else is on here from Canada, you are pioneering an entire country. That's huge. That's huge. And so you got to know that, listen, whatever it's going to take, don't worry about the little things. I know there's some issues already on the Canada side. Definitely, we're gonna work that out. Right? We're gonna figure all that out, right? But at the end of the day, you got to know that the Kings, even Jamaica knows. Jamaica has been through some stuff. But one thing about it, when you begin to make noise, TLC pays attention. I've never seen a company that, when things are identified, and the great thing about it is they are very connected to their leaders. So I can actually pick up, I don't know about you guys who've done network marketing, but I've never been able to pick up a phone and literally to talk to, Mr. Jack Fallon's right-hand person, Rosa. Literally, if I decide to send Mr. Jack Fallon a message, guess what? I'm going to get an answer. And you guys try it. Inbox them sometimes. You'd be surprised, how our leadership truly cares, and how our corporate, office really does care about what's happening out here in the field. And so it's powerful. So, I really don't want to keep you all on here tonight, because I know that you had a phenomenal training, but I just really wanted to say, because I briefly talked to David, I didn't know I was coming on here tonight. I just walked into my hotel room, but I said, absolutely, I'm going to jump on here. And he was sharing with me some of the things that you guys were talking about. Great. But I just want to tell you, Don't try to recreate the wheel. Keep it simple, move forward, act upon it, figure out what's going to work. This 30-33 is everything. You see, 30-33, 30 minutes for 30 days with 3 products. Beat that drum. Beat that drum, because the world is looking for a way to take back their health. And we're creating a lifestyle. You see, when people know and understand that this is truly a lifestyle, we're not just here trying to sell some product to people. We're here to help a person understand that, listen, we truly do care. Remember, a person doesn't care how much we know. They want to know how much we care. So now when we are living the lifestyle, when we're changing our life, when we're getting our personal testimony, shout out to all of you who said yes and you didn't play. You really didn't know maybe what you were doing, but you started to sip on a cup of tea. You paid attention to what has been done in the past and what's being done. You got on the scale. You decided to shoot a video. You decided to take a picture, and look what's happening. People are paying attention. And know that it's a process. It's a process. Embrace it and have fun with this. You all should be having fun with Total Life Changes. All right? All right. So, I just want to say, grab a hold of this movement, because we are making history together. And that's exciting. You got to know that we are making history. One day, this is going to be in the books of the industry of direct sales, about how all of you came on board with Total Life Changes, and you just went forward. You began to share the products. You began to fall in love with the products. See, you got to fall in love with TLC. When it goes from your head to your heart, that's when you know you got it. And that's when you become unstoppable. So how to go from head to your heart, feel this thing with passion, and know that this is the very thing that's going to help you to achieve whatever you desire. So, I really want to just open it up for any questions, because I can go on and on with my passion, with what this business is doing for people. But I want to see, I know you guys have been on here. You've had quite a bit of knowledge tonight. But if there's anything that I can answer for you guys, Sandra, I'm going to get back to you in just a few minutes, okay? So we can definitely put some stuff on my calendar. Just been a little busy between grandma and business and holding it down. But I'm good, okay? But any questions on here tonight?
Okay, awesome, Coach Pam. While persons think about it, it was, 3033 has really been, doing a lot for me. And I just really want to testify to that. I mean, I've been getting a lot of attention on social media. A lot of persons are looking to the movement. The movement is really creating a stir on social media. Well, if you have any suggestions, well, basically it's just to promote it. I like that, right? And yeah, being consistent is very, very, very key. I don't know if anybody else has any questions.
Yes, consistency is everything, and exposing. Let me tell you, and look at everything as a positive. I learned that a long time ago. Let me tell you what happened to me quickly. Since I got off the plane in Atlanta, I'm in the plane. Because I travel a lot, I'm very busy. It's the first week of school coming up. I didn't realize it. Nothing done for my kids. I'm not even going to be there for the first day of school. But anyway, I get on the plane to come to Atlanta, and I do this a lot. I'm last minute. Like, there's days in which I book a flight the day before, okay? And so, but I know for weeks I'm supposed to be there. But anyway, I get on the plane. I said, okay, I'm going to Atlanta. No problem. I'll book my hotel and my rental car when I'm in the air. Well, guess what? I get to Atlanta, big hair show here this weekend. Hotels hard to find, no rental cars. So I said, no rental cars. What am I going to do? So I sat in the airport for like maybe about an hour trying to figure it out. Now, I could have called my daughter to come pick me up, but I didn't want her to have to do that. And so I sat there trying to figure it out. And then finally I said, you know what? Let me just take an Uber, okay? I'm going to take an Uber. So so then Saturday I got up, right? Because I had to go get my hair done. And I'm online. I'm on the phone trying to call every rental car, no rental cars in the city of Atlanta. So I said, okay, I guess I'm going to have to take an Uber. And then I took another hour trying to find a car. But then I said, you know what? This is a blessing. Because guess what? Every Uber driver now knows about the 3033. Every Uber driver now has a pack of tea in their hand, because I bless people more than I sell this tea. I'm just gonna be honest with you. And everybody's not at that level, but I can give away some tea. And so everybody has a pack of tea. So I literally, since Friday, since I landed, have been in Ubers all over the place to the mall. Me and the baby took the Uber home from the mall. Okay. And so literally, but that's what I'm saying. You gotta take advantage of every opportunity. And while I'm sitting in there tonight, listen to this. See, that's what I'm saying. Your fortune is in your follow-up, but listen, these products work. And by you putting it out there, I haven't even followed up. Obviously, I haven't followed up with any of these people. But listen, I got a message while I'm sitting in this meeting tonight. And it says, "Hi, Pam. This is Kathy. We met in the Uber yesterday. She said, tea is ready to go, and I plan on starting tomorrow." She said, "I wanted to know, how much I need to drink and all this." So this is my Uber driver yesterday. So see, you plant the seeds, and guess what? They are going to grow. So leverage every opportunity. Don't be afraid to talk. So I'm excited because I've been Ubering all over Atlanta, Georgia. And guess what? I'll be in several Ubers tomorrow, taking just Ubers, different places, just because. Okay, it's an opportunity to meet people. So I just wanted to share that with you. But the 3033 is real. That's all I talk about. I talk about the tea, how it changed my life. I pique interest, right? You got to pique some interest. You don't throw up all over people. A lot of times we talk too much. No. You just pique some interest. Either give them something to bite, so then now you can put them in front of the information, let the information do the work, and boom. We changing some lives. So I just wanted to share that. So any questions? It's exciting. I'm always excited to see your beautiful faces. For those of you that decide to turn the cameras on, I love it. For some reason, Arrow, I always see the wall or the ceiling, But Arrow, I know you out there. I always mess with you. Hey, Donovan. I can't see everybody though. I know there's more. I don't know what that is, Eric. There you go. All right. Appreciate that.
I have to stop. I'm coming from a volleyball match. I have to stop my friend. I have Dion here.
Hello.
And
hey, Dion.
Hey, Coach Pam.
We got Andrea.
Hey. All right. Hi, baby girl. Awesome. Can't wait to get out here. Wonderful. All right. So any questions?
No, that's it.
We're all good. All minds clear.
Yes.
Everybody know what to do.
Yes.
All right, wonderful. All right, well, great seeing you guys. Glad I could jump on. And hey, let's get this thing done. Let's get this thing done. All right. So, Sandra, I'm getting ready to send you a message in just a minute. Y'all pray for me when it comes time to WhatsApp, because I got so many of them, literally pages of WhatsApps. And so just pray for me. Okay. All right. Well, y'all have a great night, and hey, let's get it done. All right. Here if you need anything. All right. Bye. Be blessed. All right. Good night. All right. Bye.
All right. Thanks, Coach Pam, for jumping on. And we're just going to be closing out. We have some amazing things coming up for Jamaica, some amazing things coming up for Canada, and the rest of the world. So watch out, world. All right. Thank you very much all for attending, and we will be talking and we'll be building the vision together. Remember, the main movement, the main talk is 3033. Let's get it done. Have a great night.
Bye.